Welcome to the Cryptonomatron, and today I'm doing a review on CLINICOIN. Now, CLINICOIN came to my attention after they messaged me on Facebook and asked me if I could do a review. I told them I don't do paid reviews, but looking at the project, it looks very interesting, and you know, I thought, why not? It's something different. I haven't done anything like this before. I initially presumed it was going to be like medical chain or you know, these recent healthcare record ICOs. There's quite a few of them have come out. There's one in Korea. I think it was what was it, MediBlock or MediChain. Anyway, loads of them coming out, and I just assumed because it had clinic in the name that it was going to be the same, and it isn't. It's actually a health and wellness ecosystem. So it's a blockchain that will pay you to be healthy and maintain a good lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, and it does it in several ways. So we'll explain that during the review. Just before we get started, they are giving away 500 CLIN tokens if you register. But if you use the link in the description below, you will get 1,000 free tokens. So please do that. And yeah, let's get on with the review and see what CLINICOIN is all about. So looking at the competition, Limpo is the first one that came to mind. They are doing a monetized sports and health data on the blockchain. A similar idea to CLINICOIN in a way, in that you get rewarded for sharing your data when you're performing these tasks, essentially acting as a miner on the network by providing the data from your fitness and wellness activities. And there was another one that I saw, Health Nexus, but that seems to be dealing with health records more than actually performance and your own well-being and interacting on an ecosystem. So there are only really a couple out there that are similar to CLINICOIN, so it doesn't have that much competition. The advantage, the competitive advantage it has at ICO anyway, is the fact it's open to US residents, so you can actually participate, guys, if you are from the US. I get a lot of my viewers asking me, is it open to the US, is it not, you know, and most projects are not, because they just don't want to deal with the regulatory side of it and get bogged down with dealing with problems with the financial institutions and authorities that they have to deal with, so they just exclude US citizens, which I know it's not fair. But this is a US-based project, CLINICOIN, so you will be allowed to participate. The other competitors it has really are probably the centralized apps for monitoring your health and fitness. I don't use them. I'm sitting here with a packet of 20 Regal King Size and a pint of lager in front of me, so I'm not really the healthiest person on the planet, and it's only 10 a.m. as well, so you know, I don't know much about fitness, so I don't use any of these apps, but you know, I think they're in competition with these centralized apps. And of course, the competitive advantage they'll have over those will be that you actually get rewarded for using CLINICOIN rather than just using the app because it's convenient and provides you with a service. So they don't really have any direct competition, maybe with the exception of Limpo, and they're gonna pay you essentially for providing data and using the ecosystem, using the app. So it'll be interesting to see how it gets adopted and whether they can make an impact on the industry. So referring to the white paper for the problems section, they believe that the problems are both expensive but preventable as well by utilizing the CLINICOIN app. They hope to tackle them. The first one is low engagement, and the second one is mobile health app overload. There's just simply too many of these apps. Every clinic, every pharmacy's got one, and it really doesn't solve any problems having that many. The engagement problems cost a lot of money, over $428 billion per year in the US alone, and that's, you know, unacceptable. It's split between, you can see here from the white paper, it's split between healthcare. The missed appointments cost about 150 billion, and 278 billion are losses are associated with non-adherence to medication that you're prescribed. But there are other problems as well with research and clinical trials. 80% are the number of clinical trials that don't meet the recruitment deadlines. They can't find people to actually take part in them. That's quite a high number. And 30% is the average number of participants who actually drop out after they enroll. So that's an issue. And that costs between $600,000 and $8 million per day for the pharmaceutical companies conducting these trials. The other issue that I mentioned was the mobile app problem. There's just too many. They say there's 300,000 health apps available, and that's just a ridiculous number. The problem that you have there is everybody's got their own app, and there's not one that you can rely on to provide the services that are required. So that's what they hope their app is going to be. Clinicoin app is going to provide all the services on the blockchain that relate to your health and wellness. So your doctor will be able to get the information that he needs. You'll also be able to engage in fitness activities and get rewarded for that. And also, it will be able. Developers can develop on it, and they'll be able to tie it in with other existing platforms. So this can retrieve the information. And basically, they say here, Clinicoin leverages the power of mobile phones to improve the health experience with a cost-effective, innovation-friendly platform. So there will be a sort of one-stop shop for everything health and wellness related. As you can see, they have this interesting proof of engagement protocol, which I'll explain a little bit later in the blockchain section how that actually works. And the rewards engine, obviously, if you utilize the app, you will be rewarded with CLIN tokens. So they aim to build the largest cryptocurrency-based health and wellness community on the planet. It's going to be open source. It's going to be based on the Ethereum blockchain, as I mentioned before, and they're going to cover all areas of health, wellness, healthcare, and research as well, from individuals like yourself and myself to organizations like clinics and hospitals, etc. And it's going to improve or benefit everybody by improving their health and wellness. So you'll be able to, as a user, you'll be able to participate in healthy physical and mindfulness activities. You'll be able to get rewarded for putting in data, and that is called proof of engagement, which I'll explain a little bit more about in the blockchain section, how that works. So you can earn the tokens for engaging with the application. You can also learn stuff. It will have a portal for knowledge and health and wellness information. And you can also connect to healthcare providers and wellness teams, etc., which is interesting. As far as the developers, they can get rewarded by connecting their own health apps. And as we discussed in the problem section, there are hundreds of thousands of them now available from a multitude of different providers. So the developer can then connect his health app and earn CLIN tokens. You can also connect or integrate third-party software, and also build an app on the platform itself. As a healthcare provider or a research laboratory or a doctor or something like that, you can connect with users. So you can advertise your services. You'll be able to utilize and collect data from them, and you will also be able to organize appointments and make sure that the person that's meant to be coming to your clinic comes and doesn't let you down and then costs you money. So those are the three targets that they are aiming at, and it sounds like an interesting plan. So let's take a look now at the market and the potential for this. So while I was looking through some information for the size of the marketplace for this, when I was doing the medical chain review, I noted that there's a multi-billion-dollar marketplace globally for online health services and telehealth services, and that's something that medical chain were looking at utilizing and seeking to benefit from. So I expect a similar market for a Clinicoin. I think the marketplace is multi-billion around the world. But this article I wanted to bring to your attention, and basically Again, this just highlights the growing number of people that are now using online services for healthcare. Instead of going physically to the doctor, they either visit a doctor online virtually, or they use telephone medicine, which is basically, you know, just phoning the doctor and getting an opinion there. Obviously, for more serious cases, you need to visit a physician or actually go to the hospital. But a lot of ailments and things that you used to go to the doctor to see about can now be done online or can be done over the phone, and there's no need to go and visit a doctor now for a lot of the stuff. So the information's out there on the internet. That's the beauty of the internet. It wasn't there before, and now it is. And of course, with the blockchain, with these new technologies that are emerging now, that's going to make even more impact into our lives. And I think with this market, we're talking a multi-billion-dollar market here. You know, if one of these health and wellness apps can utilize it, there's certainly a good chance of success. So just to amplify what I was saying, the amount of people using, say, telephone telehealth service providers is growing exponentially. There was a 1,100% growth in 2014 from 2013 for this particular segment, and obviously that's just going to continue to grow. I believe online or mobile apps will eventually take over. The telephone is really something that is a second nature to most people now, but is also secondary to the mobile app. If you've got the information and you can message somebody, I think most people will prefer using that platform rather than actually voice calling. But again, you know, this particular company here, Teladoc grew to 300,000 users in 2014. So we can imagine what the you know, the sort of the current visits are, if you like, and they've got 100 million people out there that they can reach. So, you know, there is a potential here for Clinicoin and Limpia, or Limpa, whatever it is, Limpo, and some of these other healthcare cryptocurrencies to make an impact on this segment, I think. So I found this excellent report from Deloitte. It's free to download. You can go to the website. I'll leave the link below. Click on it and download it and read it if you want, if you're interested in investing in some of these medical ICOs and wellness ICOs. The report basically details the shift towards a smart healthcare system. And interestingly enough, it mentions technology, and also in this section here on the website, it mentions leveraging social media to improve patient experience, telehealth, and also virtual reality or augmented reality in treating patients as well. So there is a you know, a move away from the traditional doctor's visits. They're expensive, time-consuming, and perhaps not necessary, and a move towards utilizing technology that we have now. You know, social media being one, and telehealth being another. And of course, the next stage will be using blockchain apps like CLINICOIN to consult, to maintain your fitness, to get information. So that's just a natural progression, I think. So the marketplace certainly will be very strong. There are competitors, as we've discussed, so it will be interesting to see how CLINICOIN shapes up against the rest. The blockchain they're going to be using is the Ethereum blockchain, and it's going to work as you can see here in the nice infographic. The blockchain will host the smart contracts, and they will handle micropayments, the proof of engagement algorithm, the identity management, and the path publishing information as well. The token, it will be a tokenized system. The token's called the CLIN, CLIN. And they're going to have an open source decentralized messaging system, so you'll be able to talk to other people. It will be encrypted channels, obviously, and anybody can publish a message channel via the smart contract, and it will be a private blockchain that will interact with the Ethereum public blockchain as well. So, you know, privacy's obviously got a very big role to play, especially when we're discussing health and wellness. We don't want our documents or our information leaked to other people, so it's very important. So the platform itself will allow you to earn rewards by logging your activity. You can connect to teams and tools as well. As we said before, you can actually find out information, speak to people that are experts in their fields. You can communicate securely using the messaging app system. And they're also going to have a marketplace as well, where you can exchange the CLIN token for goods and services. So the blockchain needs to have an algorithm, of course, or you know, a way of validating consensus. And the way this is performed with the CLINICOIN blockchain is what's called proof of engagement. And they use a couple of validators, they call them, to basically achieve consensus. So health app developers are one way, and developers can connect their own health applications, as mentioned before, and then they can confirm the healthy activities of their own members. The other one will be exercise instructors, IRL validators they call them, exercise instructors, yoga teachers, personal trainers, the likes, and they can create these events which generate codes on the smartphone, and anybody that participates can scan the codes and gets credit for the activity they've been performing. So essentially you can host an activity, for example a yoga class, as an IRL validator, and then you can give the QR code to your participants, and they use it as well, and you get rewarded and they get rewarded. And that's the way that the consensus algorithm works. The proof of engagement is basically, as it sounds, it proves that you've been engaged in a healthy activity using the ecosystem and therefore acting as a miner on the blockchain, if you like. The white paper provides a lot of information on the technology that they're going to use, and I'll just outline it here. I don't want to get too in depth and bore you all with it. There's no point. If you're interested, the white paper is there for your perusal. But they have four different things that I think are important to point out here. They are open source, of course. But four functions that they have are the secure messaging, which is going to be important. The rewards engine, which again will reward participants that use the app, which I think is the main selling point here. It's not like the centralized systems that we're already using. On your mobile phone, for example, you will get rewarded for engagement and you know, for using the ecosystem, using the app. So it's again, it's an incentive. It incentivizes people to use it. You've got to have a reason to use it. Aside from the health benefits it's going to give you, you're also getting a reward for doing it. So you know, that's very important, especially with the new technologies that are emerging on blockchains. You know, rewarding your users, incentivizing it, gamifying what they're doing really has a big role to play. There's also this proof of engagement and validator, so a new way of achieving consensus, so to speak. Again, slightly different from proof of work or a proof of stake system. A proof of engagement simply means that the transactions will be validated on the chain by people that are actually using the app, and validated by a sort of higher authority, if you like, as well. And then they're also going to have this marketplace, which initially will be centralized, but then will move to decentralization later on. And you'll be able to, like I said, buy and trade services and items that are relevant. So it's an interesting system. As I said, if you want to know more about it, there's a lot of technical information in the white paper, more than enough for anybody, unless they're really into developing apps and stuff like that, and maybe want to build on the back of this. So go read the white paper if you want to know more about how they're going to achieve all these different aims. And now we'll move on to look at the use of the token. So aside from the proof of engagement algorithm that you will get rewarded for putting in the data, there will be other ways that you can earn tokens, and one of the ways that you can is through token distribution events. So there is an example here. A provider will create a token distribution event for the users, and we'll use the example of an appointment, so the users have to attend this appointment. The rewards engine will then enable the sending of the CLIN tokens after the event is complete. The user will arrive at the appointment. He confirms his attendance, obviously with the QR scan, as we talked about before. The provider will then release the tokens from the wallet, and the user then receives the tokens as a reward for attending the appointment. So that's simply how it can work. And there'll be a number of other ways that you can earn the CLIN tokens. Attending appointments is one, taking medicine is another here, that's mentioned, filling out surveys, completing tasks, etc. So a lot of ways that you'll be able to benefit if you use this system. So the ICO kicks off on February the 21st and ends on March the 20th. US citizens can participate. The soft cap is set at $2 million with the hard cap at $26 million. And to encourage uses on the platform and further the mission of the project, there will be a discount period for 4 weeks, and 3 billion Clinicoin tokens will be created at the Genesis, so 3 billion total, and 1 CLIN will equal 3 cents. So there's no pre-sale here, this is going straight to a main sale. There's no whitelist either, and there's no minimum spend, so you can send as much or as little crypto as you want. They will accept Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Ripple even, which is interesting, and US dollar through wires or credit cards. They have a bonus scheme. As I mentioned, one CLIN equals 3 cents. However, from the 1st to the 4th day, there will be a 50% bonus, which means you will get your CLIN token for 2 cents, and then the bonus decreases right down through the 4 weeks to a 10% bonus in the 4th week. There will be a 15 million plus CLIN bonus for days of 1 through 4, and that means if you purchase more than 15 million CLIN, you will get 15% additional bonus as well, but they're limiting that to only 10 slots for the whales. Again, you need to register, complete KYC at the moment if you're interested in getting involved with this ICO. So a nice touch here, they're going to have a charitable smart contract. So if the hard cap is met, it will unlock up to an additional 200 million CLIN tokens, and they will be for sale at the price of 3 cents each. And every dollar that they make during this sale will go to children's health charities, which I think is very, very nice. But you will also get a bonus as well. So if you buy 100,000 CLIN tokens and they sell the 200 million, then you will receive about a 14.6% bonus, or 14,600 additional tokens. And if you buy 100,000 and they only sell half of the 200 million CLIN, so if they sell 100 million CLIN, you will receive about half that bonus, 7.3%, or 7,300 additional tokens. Token distribution will be as follows. Advisors and consultants will get 2%, company and team 8%, making a total of 10% for team and advisors. Community rewards pool will be 20%, and the partners, developers and growth of the platform will take 17.6%. There will be 52.4% of the 3 billion tokens available for the sale. The tokens for the team members, they will vest over a 24-month period with a 6-month cliff. So I didn't find any information about a bounty campaign. If they've got one, it's very well hidden. I did look for it over all their social media, but it doesn't look like they're conducting one. It's a little bit of a concern for me because their community support is not all that great, and I think they could have done with a bounty campaign to really push this ICO onto the forefront of people's minds. This is quite a hidden project as far as I'm concerned. It's not as hyped as it should be. It's a good project, but there's not enough support behind it, and a bounty campaign really should have been implemented to help it grow. So the roadmap is in 4 stages of 4 milestones, they call them, and basically the 4 milestones are split into the 4 quarters of this year, quarter 1 through quarter 4 2018. Quarter 1, they have a product development section. You can see there they are going to have the ICO token sale and the token rewards distribution as well. The messaging and the chat will be the first thing that they're going to launch because they're already backed by Mozio. The CEO is also the founder of Mozio, and they've already got an application. We'll look at that in a minute when we look at the partners section. But in quarter 1, they're looking to start building the app and using the messaging platform as the first stage. Let's have a look at milestone 2. They're moving on for the proof of engagement system and the actual smart contracts on the blockchain. There will be some other stuff done as well. The validator terms and conditions are going to work out. Then quarter 3 2018, they will do a live release. So I think it's going to be around maybe August time that we're going to see an actual finished product that will be finalized over time after that. As you can see, they're going to add the marketplace around that time as well. And then moving into quarter 4 2018, they are going to work more on some of their other more technical solutions. So let's take a quick look at the team now. Noel Chandler and Jay Sakdev are the co-founders. Noel is the CEO and Jay is the CTO. We'll have a look at their LinkedIn pages in a second. The team looks fairly competent. I looked through quite a few of their LinkedIn profiles earlier on, so I've no issues or concerns about them being able to implement. They're already being involved with a company called Mozio, which has successfully implemented a messaging app. So we know they have the technical know-how and the ability. The advisory body consists of 7 people, some notable companies listed there: Google, Adobe, LinkedIn and Yahoo, amongst others. Yep, it looks quite a strong team and advisory body for me, but again, no immediate concerns. And just a quick word about the co-founders. We'll look at them on LinkedIn here, as you can see. And they have both been founders of a company called Mozio before. What is Mozio? Well, it is a mobile messaging platform that delivers patient recruitment, retention and engagement solutions for clinical research. So they're already involved in this field, which I think is rather important. We'll take a quick look at Jay. Again, Jay is a crypto and blockchain champion. He claims, which is nice, I like that, and also co-founder and chief technical officer of Mozio. So in essence, they're just moving forward now to the blockchain with Clinicoin, having an ICO to raise some funds so that they can implement what they want to do. Yeah, it's quite interesting that they've already been involved with clinical research and already have an app. So that's quite enthusing and reassuring for any investors wanting to go into this ICO. So the first partner I want to point out is Mozio. Now, the founders have already successfully implemented this service. What is it? Well, it's a text messaging app on the mobile device for clinical data, basically, data collection, participant communications, that type of thing. As you can see from the homepage on Mozio, Clinicoin is mentioned at the banner ad at the top. So they're both complementary, I think. Importantly, these are clients of Mozio already, so they are interested in using Clinicoin if it can be implemented. Some big names there, as you can see: Johns Hopkins School of Medicine jumps out at me, Yale University, Columbia University Medical Center, and so on and so on. So they've already been using the Mozio app and are already clients of the partners. And if we just scroll down a little bit, Clinicoin themselves actually have some partners. As you can see, Mozio is mentioned there, but also for the implementation of the blockchain and the launch of the ICO, they have several partnerships: BitGo, Bancor, obviously they're using the Ethereum blockchain, Gemini, Blonde 2.0, Contigo, and Cloudflare as well. Getting my tongue tied a little bit there. So, partnerships look good for the ICO launch itself, and obviously they've got quite a few potential clients or potential customers that will use the Clinicoin app anyway, that are already using their data collection services through Mozio. So as far as the community is concerned, I checked out GitHub. They have two repositories. One is some of the app material and also for some of the functionality as well. I looked on Twitter, Telegram. They only have 601 members at the moment on Telegram, and the ICO is only a few weeks away, so community support could be a lot better here. The main concern for me with the community was not the fact that they're not active in the community space, but the fact is that they're only very recent. Their Twitter has apparently almost 1,600 followers, but the audit isn't good news. 1,300 of those followers are fake, which isn't a good sign. I think before they have the ICO, they really need to get more community support, more buzz about the project, and more hype, because they are not going to have a token burn, which means the remaining tokens will be circulated back into the system. And I don't think they're going to make hard cap at the current level of hype. I might be wrong, but there's not enough hype to see this reach hard cap, in my opinion. So, I think maybe they should possibly think about postponing the ICO until community support is built up. I think it's a mistake that they didn't have a bounty campaign. I said that already. And the other thing that I'm concerned about is the fact that the social media has only really appeared over the last few days. I think I was the first subscriber on their YouTube channel as well. So they really need to build more community around this before launching the ICO, in my opinion. So verdict time, and let's look at the positives first. Well, Mozio already has a working product and an existing client base, and I think that's going to be important if Clinicoin is to succeed. They can utilize that client base in particular. Number two, the team has already successfully implemented other projects, namely Mozio, and that's a good sign. It gives reassurance to investors that they're able to actually commit and provide a product. Number three, there is a fairly low token price. I think that's a positive for this project. 3 cents or even 2 cents with your bonus is quite low. And given that medical ICOs are flavour of the month, I can see this project or the price of the token rising in value, which means if you do invest in it, you could see a good return. Number five, the app incentivizes. Users can earn using the app, and that is important for this project to gain adoption, because if you're using a similar service or a similar product, one of the many health and wellness apps out there, you will be incentivized to jump ship and use Clinicoin, because you will actually get rewarded for it. Number six, I think it's a very interesting and innovative concept they have. It's a little bit more unique than some of the other offerings that we've seen of late, and it's certainly more innovative than those. Number seven, the material is very well put together. The white paper is good, the website is very nice, and it's very easy to understand for anybody that's looking to invest in it. Number eight, I think the charitable donation is a nice touch. I'm involved with charities myself, so I do a little bit of charitable work now and again, and I think it's just a nice touch that they've decided, well, we're trying to raise $26 million. Let's give a bit back to children that need it. And number nine, this is a big positive. US citizens can participate in this ICO, so it's open to most people. However, there are some negatives, and let's go through them now. I feel that this team are rushing to have an ICO. I think if they just held off a little bit longer and build community support, they would score higher. Number two, well, why the need for an ICO? If they're already successful with the clients at Mozio, why do we need to have an ICO? Why do they need to use that for funding their blockchain tech? Number 3, again, not enough hype behind the project. I've said it before and I will say it again. They need a far bigger support in the community, in my opinion, for this project to succeed. And that goes hand in hand with not having a bounty campaign. That's another negative. The best way to spread hype and news about a project is to let your community do it. And if you incentivize them with a bounty campaign, they'll go out and do it for you. And this project lacks that, and that's a negative. Number 5, I understand that a large supply is required for an ecosystem of this type. Because you obviously have to have a lot of tokens for all the transactions that are happening to incentivize the users and the developers and the clients as well. But from an investment standpoint, it is a large supply, and obviously larger supplies affect the price accordingly. So there's no smart contract either yet. I would have liked to have seen that before the ICO kicks off on February the 21st. I think success of this project will depend solely on the adoption of the app as well. They don't really have any plan B. So, you know, if a lot of people use it, it will be a success. If a lot of people don't use it, then it could struggle and stumble. Number 8, I'm concerned that it's not truly disruptive to the industry. I think it's innovative, certainly, but not truly disruptive. It doesn't really put down a flag and say, you've got to use us because we're changing the game up here. And number 9, another negative for me, they're not having a token burn. Tokens will be recirculated into the system for use elsewhere. And of course, investors are going to want to see a lower total or circulating supply. And no token burn is really a negative as well. So, to sum up, and verdict time, I'm a goddamn marvel of modern science. Who said that? What movie is that from? Answers in the comments below. If you know, I'm giving this project 2.5 out of 5 stars. I really like it. I really do actually. I think it's a great project and I would love to be involved. However, I do have concerns, and those concerns are obviously, the first one is the lack of hype, the lack of community support, and the fact that you know, there just isn't enough hype behind it to give it traction when it goes on the exchanges. So I'm on the fence on this one. If they decide to postpone the ICO perhaps and you know, build the community behind it, maybe even have a bounty campaign and get word of mouth going around, then certainly I will reconsider investing in this ICO, because as I said, I think it's a solid project, a solid team. I like it. But I'm a bit hesitant at the moment. I'm on the fence. So if you like this review, please please subscribe, you know, click the notification bell icon as well if you want to get my videos immediately as soon as they're uploaded. Thanks for watching. As ever, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. If you are going to invest in ICOs, please be advised that there is inherent risk. You have to do your own due diligence, guys. You have to do your own research. Don't take the advice of any YouTubers, because you know, you want to know for yourself that you're confident in investing in anything, and always invest with caution, invest wisely, and always invest what you can afford to lose. So that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another ICO review. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all my subscribers, all my viewers, and I'll see you tomorrow.